how many years have you been a sponsor for the MIT CIO Symposium?
Oh gosh, it must be at least a decade. Ever since the symposium started, Markley has been a great promoter of the activity here. So Markley is a data center solutions company. We do co-location services for many name brand customers, and those customers with a national footprint that need a local presence area. We also provide very high-speed interconnectivity with our co-location services, as well as augment those services with cloud services that can help customers integrate, public, private, and hybrid cloud solutions all within our data center footprint.
My name is Tom Fogel. I'm with Equinix, and I'm Director of Marketing for Equinix here. And I am a sponsor for the MIT Symposium. And I really enjoy the opportunity to be here because it's a great forum and a great opportunity for us to network with a lot of CIOs, CTOs, and CXOs from all over the world. And it gives us an opportunity to actually present our value proposition to our prospective customers and also prospective new clients on the panels. It is the who's who of corporations, and one of the great things about these panel sessions and these various different speaking sessions is that you're hearing from people in terms of what are their best practices, what are the things that they've done right, what are the things that they've done wrong, and with some excellent use cases as well.
Brian, how many years have you been coming to the MIT CIO Symposium?
This is my second. I came 2 years ago and didn't come last year.
And how has the symposium helped you in your professional career?
Sure. So I've been the CIO at the company I've been that I work at now for about 7 years, and so I came 2 years ago, really trying to learn. I was taking on a new role, really around infrastructure, and didn't know much about it, and so was trying to get some insights on that. So that, fast forward to this year, didn't come last year because kind of still in the midst of that. The project we've got going on right now, I'm leading a data analytics team to try to help the company make better, faster decisions, and am looking for as much help and information and key contacts that I can to help try to drive that project and be as successful as possible. So I'm really looking for the conference to help provide that to both access to contacts and information.
And your first year, you told me, was so valuable to you. That's why it was so important for you to come back. You were sitting there writing, taking notes, and were you able to implement any of those practices from your first year?
Absolutely. Again, we were sort of in the midst of an infrastructure project, and that wasn't my background. I'm more of a business person who's moved into technology. So having practitioners and academics provide information or thoughts on sort of the cloud and some infrastructure kinds of things a couple years ago was really critical to helping me, try to avoid, the goal is try to avoid making mistakes, right? Do the right thing, but also avoid, making too many errors.
And tell us a little bit about your career. You were telling me you started with a startup company?
Yeah, so in the early 2000s, I started a software company. I was not a developer. I had an idea, went out and found some partners. We built some software to do financial planning for middle-income consumers, and we partnered with banks and credit unions to offer that, and worked on that for about 8 years, and then transitioned to the company I'm with now, which is a consumer lending company, again, focused on lower-income, middle-income consumers. And so for me, transitioning from a very small organization, at our height, we had 12 people. So I was the founder and CEO, but sort of played CIO at the end of the day because every decision it was just so small. We sort of sat around a table and made decisions. So moving into a larger organization, which wasn't huge, but was much bigger, I had to sort of transition into a more focused role where, while I was part of the business strategy, I was also really kind of looked to provide the expertise when it came to all things technological at that point. So that was sort of the transition into the role that I'm in now. And I've been there about 7 years, and I've done sort of 3 different jobs within technology. One was kind of standing up a new online product. The second was really in building out and strengthening infrastructure, and now we're moving into a data analytics and sort of a decision science driving initiative. So those have been sort of the 3 pieces of the job and sort of the context of my career over the past 15 years.
What would you tell others in your industry about this conference?
I think Lindsay said it well, and that it's hard to find a good combination of academics and practitioners. You can get sort of either flavor, but having them both together for me was sort of a nice mix, because you can get both a very practical sort of application side, but also sort of cutting edge research and where are things going, particularly if you're trying to do forward-looking things. And most of us are. That's, for better or for worse, we're sort of looked to in our company to sort of know where the future is going as it relates to digital. And while that's somewhat unfair, it's the nature of the gig. So trying to get as much of that or do intake on that you can, I think, is important. And this is a great place to do it, especially in one day.
And tell us a little bit about Advanced Financial.
So we're a consumer financing company based in Nashville, Tennessee. We've got about 85 stores in the state, and we do online lending in about 12 states outside of Tennessee. About 900 employees, did about $200 million in revenue last year.
Well, great. Thank you so much for being here, and we look forward to seeing you next year.
Thanks.